This is basically the pregame.
Hey, Boston, why is this not on?
How about that? Hey, it works that way. Boston and Massachusetts, thank you for showing up to Mass 50. We are so excited to see everybody out here tonight. I am so excited to see so many amazing signs. Everybody, make sure you look around and see how smart your fellow people are. Enjoy the humor, enjoy the messages. This is as loud as it gets. Check. This is cranked up. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to be loud, but this is as loud as this gets.
The problem is the people facing this way will hear me, and the people over here will not. But that's what we'll have to do.
That's why we're in the front.
That's not going to work. That's just going to blow up the microphone. Hey, we have some speakers for you today, but before we do that, we get the sense that people are a little fired up.
Yes.
Are you happy with what's going on?
No!
Do you want to let the people know what we think?
Yes!
How about this one? The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated.
The people united will never be defeated.
People united will never be defeated.
Fuck yeah!
United will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. The people
That's right.
will never be defeated.
That's right. And that's what Mass 5051 is here for, is to bring people together. We are here to bring people together to oppose Donald Trump, to oppose Project 2025, to oppose Elon Musk.
Yeah!
We are here to do that non-violently. We are a non-violent movement. But the people together in a non-violent movement can make real change.
Yeah!
Again, thank you for coming out. For anybody who brought donations of food for Boston Rescue Mission, thank you so much. You're making a real difference. We are collecting those up here to the side of the stage, right down there, the giant pile of food. Thank you so much for bringing all that stuff.
Thank you.
How about it? Let's let them know what we think a little bit more. How about no kings, no tyrants, we will not be silent. No kings,
No tyrants! We will not be silent!
no kings, no tyrants.
We will not be silenced! No kings! No tyrants! We will not be silenced!
No kings, no tyrants.
We will not be silenced!
No kings, no tyrants.
We will not be silenced! We will not be silenced!
No kings, no tyrants.
We will not be silenced!
No kings, no tyrants.
We will not be silenced!
That's it. That's right. Follow our Constitution, not a king. Boycott Tesla and X. It's not the stupidity, it's the fascism. You're a bad person. You people must uphold the Constitution. Stand with Ukraine.
Yes!
That one wasn't as big a deal when we started organizing this protest, but after the last week, that's jumped to the top of the agenda. Arrest President Muskrat and his First Lady Trump. Hey Trump, talk to Putin like that, not our allies, you traitor.
Yeah!
You people have some great time, thank you so much. Yeah! Alright, ladies and gentlemen, folks and friends, welcome again, and thank you so much on behalf of Mass 5051. Thanks for coming out and showing what Boston thinks of the state of our union. The 5051 movement is a peaceful, nonpartisan, grassroots movement that brings people together from all walks of life to preserve American democracy. We want our elected representatives to push back harder and more meaningfully, to obstruct the actions of this administration, to call out their unconstitutional behavior, and to stand up for what's right. We want judges to uphold their offices and hold Trump accountable.
Yes!
We want institutions and individuals to not obey in advance.
Yes!
Make them tell you twice. Make them tell you again. Don't do anything that you think is that is counter to your beliefs. We're trying to build support among all of us, to show that the minority is truly a minority and that we do not support their activities. You
Nope.
may have different political leanings than the person next to you or the people on this stage, and that's okay. We don't have to agree on everything. We can argue details later. But right now, if you value democracy, if you value the rule of law,
Yes!
then you are with us!
Yes!
As I said before, the 5051 movement is firmly committed to non-violence. If you see anyone causing trouble here today, they are not with us. Do not engage them. Find somebody or invest. Our peacekeepers around the outside, you'll see, are here today to help us stay safe. They can help if anybody's causing trouble. All right, I'm going to hand the megaphone off to our first speaker for today. This is Rebecca Winter. She is the press rep for Mass 5051, and I will keep talking until she makes her way up here, because I think I caught her by surprise.
Welcome to the revolution.
Yes!
Thank you for joining us today. My name is Rebecca Winter, and I am the press representative for the Massachusetts chapter of 5051. We are a nonpartisan movement committed to defending our democracy and upholding the Constitution of the United States of America through peaceful access.
Yes!
I'm first going to say thank you for showing up today. You could have stayed home, but you chose to be here because this matters. Our country matters. And we will not be silent while the checks and balances that hold our government together are being manipulated to line the pockets of billionaires.
No!
We stand against violations of the U.S. Constitution and federal law.
Yes!
We stand against executive overreach.
Yes!
We stand against the unethical purging of civil servants and the persecution of political opponents.
Yes!
And we stand against demonization of immigrants, LGBTQIA individuals, and political opponents.
Yes!
We stand for our country.
Yes!
We stand for the rights of our people, of all of our people, regardless of race, ethnicity, religion, gender, sexuality, ability, and net worth.
Right!
We have been purposefully divided. We've allowed oligarchs, billionaires, to tell us who we are and what side of the fence we should stand on. We've allowed them to separate us into camps of left and right, divided the working class by race and ethnicity, claiming anyone without white skin is looking to steal your job. They've fabricated stories causing a spotlight to be shown on one of our smallest marginalized populations, transgender and non-binary people, who are just trying to live their lives in peace.
Yes!
They've left us fighting each other over the cost of eggs during a bird flu. Illegal cuts to funding already approved by Congress are gutting our social safety nets and putting the health of our nation in jeopardy. Halting life-saving medical research and leaving many of our best scientists in Boston and beyond in a holding pattern that will set us back decades.
Boo!
Now this administration is trying to create a divide between us and our allies, threatening war with Canada, renaming the Gulf of Mexico, pulling out of the World Health Organization and the Paris Agreement, and publicly disgracing President Zelensky.
Boo! Boo!
Who has bravely led his country through a war that Russia started.
Yes!
Also freezing over $1 billion of funding to Ukraine. Threatening the world with tariffs that will be paid out of the pockets of working Americans, and forcing our allies to form new allegiances that will weaken the U.S. economy and our global political standing. They have deliberately tried to divide us. They hope we will be too busy fighting each other to notice as they strip away our rights. But the people united will never be defeated. Will never be defeated.
The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated.
I'm not a good cameraman.
We are not defeated. We are here. We are learning to see through the disinformation campaigns pushing us apart. We must come together and turn this ship around, and we can. But it's gonna take all of us. There is a role for everyone in this movement. You might feel frozen or helpless at times, but when we come together, we can do great things. Power to the people. If you are looking for ways to act now, I encourage you to pick up a copy of Professor Timothy Snyder's book on tyranny.
Yes, good book.
It is a quick read that gives us a blueprint on what to do right now. Professor Snyder saw this coming, and he wrote us a guide on how we fight back. He compels us to stand out and not obey in advance. You are doing that by coming here today, and we all need to continue doing this in our everyday lives. He reminds us to search for and believe in truth. Quote, to abandon fact is to abandon freedom. Research before you repost. Find primary sources. Read books. Get off social media and form alliances with real people in your community. As our social safety nets and institutions are being dismantled, it will be up to us to lift up our communities. And his biggest ask, which we are asking you today, is to be a patriot and be as courageous as you can be. He says, quote, set a good example of what America means for the generations to come. They will need it. If none of us is prepared to die for freedom, then all of us will die under tyranny.
That's right.
Timothy Snyder's words give us actions that everyone here can take. We will all have different roles in this movement, and it is time for you to decide where you stand. You're already doing the work. You already showed up today. Now choose how you use your energy tomorrow. This is a marathon, not a sprint.
That's right.
And this is only the beginning. If you want to learn more, if you want to help out, stop by the info booth and please come back to our next event, March 15th, 12 p.m., the Prides of March. It will be in the Commons, but not here. Amen.
Yeah!
Thank you, Rebecca. Everybody wants that next step. What do you do next? So that's great to hear. Our next speaker from the Cambridge City Council. This is Burhan Azim. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Massachusetts.
Hello!
I thought we were here to rally. Can you get a little louder?
Yeah!
There we go. I know times are hard. You know, they have the Supreme Court, the presidency, Congress is feckless. It's a hard moment. You need me to be louder? All right. Got it. All right. It's a hard moment for us. You know, they're coming after everyone, and I mean everyone. You know, whether it's Tom Homan saying that they're gonna give us hell, come after kids,
Boo!
coming after kids, dreamers who've only ever lived here.
Boo!
They're cutting NIH funding, cutting funding to our universities. They're cutting Medicaid funding, freezing all these federal funds.
Boo!
They're coming after our trans brothers and sisters.
Boo!
It's really every single one of us. They're cutting off our allies and siding with dictators.
Boo!
It's going to be every single day for the next 4 years. We're going to have to fight back. 1 year. All right. I love that energy. It's true, it's true. Whether in 4 years we get Vance running or he's going to pull another January 6th and run again. The thing is that Trump wants to be king. But I think you know where I'm going with here. Massachusetts, we don't do kings.
No!
This is the birthplace of the revolution.
Yes!
We know how to fight back.
Yes!
When Omen says he's going to come here and he's going to bring hell with him, he doesn't know what's waiting for him.
No!
We're going to fight back at every single step. So, let's try this one more time. The people united.
We'll never be defeated.
The people united.
We'll never be divided.
The people united. We'll never be defeated.
The people united. We'll never be defeated.
Come on, I think you guys should have louder.
We'll never be defeated.
The people united.
We'll never be
All right,
defeated.
thank you guys.
Thank you, Burhan. Next up, we have Alison Rochford, American activist and ally to Ukraine. A late addition to our speaking program because of all the shit that happened this week. Please welcome Alison.
Ukraine! 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 Ukraine!
You guys are awesome. Thank you. As we all know, Ukrainians were given 3 days to survive Russia's unprovoked invasion of their sovereign country. That was more than 1,000 days ago, and they are still standing strong.
Yes!
Now, we Americans are in uncharted territory as we come together to defend our values. But with strong allies who share our commitment to freedom and democracy, there is nothing that we cannot overcome.
That's right.
Like so many Americans, I never fully appreciated my freedom and democracy for most of my life. Never in my wildest dreams did I think it was something that we could lose. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Allison, and I am an American. I am an ally to Ukraine until the day I die. I am not Ukrainian, but it is with the full support of the Ukrainian community of Boston that I stand before you today to talk about our fight for our shared values of freedom and democracy and about our shared fight against our adversaries.
Yes!
In 2013, ordinary Ukrainians came together just like we have here today to oppose the unjust actions of their government. Their president at that time, Viktor Yanukovych, was distancing their country from their allies in Europe and aligning their country with Russia, largely against the wishes of his citizens. Sound familiar?
Yes.
The Ukrainian people refused to let this happen.
No!
More than 100 Ukrainian people gave their lives to these protests, now known as the Revolution of Dignity, 11 years ago. And thanks to their sacrifice, the Ukrainian people have been able to hold 2 free and fair elections since then, and will eagerly do so again the moment it is safe for them to do so.
Yeah!
What you need to know about Ukrainian people, they do not take their freedom and their right to vote for granted.
No.
They are dying for it every single day. Now, we in the United States are facing threats to our liberties that are unprecedented to us, but they are all too familiar to the people of Ukraine. Our president's words and actions are distancing us from our allies in Europe in aligning our country with Russia and its allies in North Korea, Iran, and China. Boo! While we walk away from our allies, they are holding meetings about the future of global security with no American representation. We are walking away from these conversations and ensuring that American interests will not be represented on the global stage. This does not make us safer, and this does not put America first.
No.
We have no playbook in this country for combating government corruption and oligarchs who would take the shirts off our backs if it meant $1 more in their pockets. We have no playbook for combating Russian interference in our government, but Ukrainians do. The partnership between our two countries has never been more important. We share the values of freedom and democracy, but Ukrainians know that democracy is not an end goal. It does not get passed from one generation to the next like a family heirloom. It is a sacred privilege that we must protect and constantly maintain.
Yes.
Last week, Donald Trump told Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, "You don't tell us what to feel."
You're an idiot.
I am an American, and no president tells me what to feel. I decide what I feel, and then I come here and I use my freedom of speech to make it known.
Yes.
We are all here today because there are threats to our country that we cannot remain silent about. I am a woman. I have 2 children who have to eat the food and fly on the airplanes that we're not inspecting properly anymore. I have a brother whose marriage to his husband may not be recognized by our government in the future.
Boo!
I have family and friends who are here lawfully, but who could get deported if political winds continue to shift. So when I say that distancing ourselves from our allies in Ukraine is the biggest threat that our country faces to this day, I am not saying that lightly. Please believe me when I say you cannot fathom the depth of gratitude that Ukrainian people feel for Americans, even now that we have cut military funding for their country.
Boo!
Every aid package that we have sent for the last 3 years represents lives saved, homes saved, history saved, and that was invaluable. But the decision of our government yesterday puts those lives back in jeopardy.
Boo!
In times of great difficulty, it matters a lot who you have by your side. As we face these unprecedented threats to our country that we love so deeply, we need allies by our side who have an unprecedented ability to defend freedom. No one knows what tomorrow will bring for our country, but there is no doubt that Ukrainians will continue to fight for democracy and justice for the rest of their days. And now it is time for us to decide as a country if these are values that we are willing to preserve as well.
Yes!
So I have 2 things to ask of you today. 1, when you see Russian propaganda being spouted on our news, shut it down. Do not repeat it. We need to stop it in its tracks. We are smarter than that. The second thing, you strike me as a group of people who already know how to call Congress. So next time you do, you tell them that real Americans stand